So in addition to the upskilling, program management, process improvement, and leadership, mindset is a big thing. A lot of the people that I meet, good, bad, or indifferent, are going through different phases in their lives. And because of that, there's some fear and about being bold in taking steps towards what it is that they want to achieve. And so when I talk to people, it's not just the upskilling that I preach, it's the mindset. How can I help you reframe some of those challenges you have, or reframe why it's stopping you from going to where you are to where you want to be? And one of the things that I've I've done over the last few years is to try and develop a framework that helps people through that journey, and I call it the FUMBLE framework. FUMBLE in American football is when you receive a pass and you know that you're going to get it, like you can feel it, and then as soon as it gets to your hand, you drop it and you mess up. That's what FUMBLE means. And sometimes people see FUMBLE as, oh my goodness, that person messed up, worst person in our lives. But I choose to reframe that to say FUMBLE is not something that should dictate who you are. FUMBLE is an opportunity to shift your mindset. So what do each of those letters in FUMBLE mean? F means to face your fear. Acknowledge and confront anxieties and doubts. A lot of you, one of the things that's maybe stopping you from applying for that job, taking the next step in upskilling, is because you have fear. You're like, hey, I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. Well, you have to face your fear. And there's a lot of things that I can do to help you with that. The second thing is you have to get unstuck. A lot of people keep hitting their head against the wall, doing the same thing over and over again and saying, how can I get better? Getting unstuck or getting stuck can make you feel very overwhelmed. I have very many people who've reached out to me who say, I've been applying for jobs. I've been applying for jobs. I've been applying for jobs. I'm like, okay, let's take a step back, breathe. Let's break it down and see, what type of jobs are you applying for? The job that you're applying for, does it demonstrate the skill set that you have? Is it what's needed for this job? Are you looking at the wrong place? Oh, I'm not in tech. Well, the reality is maybe 30 to 40% of people in tech companies have no idea about tech. You have people in human resources, legal, compliance, sales, negotiations, have never seen a computer. Half of what I've told you today, they don't even know, but yet they work in a tech company. Oh, so I can actually apply for a job at Google? Yes, you can. You're a salesperson, you're a negotiator, you're a lawyer, you're a global mobility person, you're in logistics and supply chain, you're in mechanical engineering, you're a thermal engineer, you are CAD, computer, whatever, computer-aided design, I think it's what they call it, right? Like people who know how to draw floor plans. We need those people who are in construction, security guards, people who are in security, people who onboard vendors, people who are in hospitality to make sure that people have a place to stay when they move. I mean, they are literally thousands of jobs that are going to help with AI, right? Because all those people are going to enable AI with or without AI. But you have to get unstuck and see, oh yeah, there's actually a different path to the destination. Third one is manage your mindset, the M. It's not just about fixed mindset or growth mindset. It's about infinite mindset. It's about self-awareness, viewing failures as learning opportunities, and just reframing things so that you can go to the next step of being bold. Being bold means raising your hand and saying, I'm going to apply for this job. I'm going to speak up. I'm going to share my idea. I'll tell you a personal story. Well, when I was in college, right? One of the many colleges I went to, like I said, my kids are always like, funny, you were held back because it took you 20 years to finish college. I'm like, yeah, But one of the things that I would do is I would sit in front in the front row in class, and I still do it today. I go for panel discussion, engagement, summit, seminar. I always sit in front. I always lift my hand up and ask a question, even when I know the answer. If I don't know the answer, I'm bold enough, or I've built that boldness intentionally so that I'm not shy about asking a question and looking stupid. If I do know the answer, I raise my hand up because I'm very confident that someone over there had the same question to ask and may not know the answer. And also, people notice my confidence when I raise my hand. And that has always helped me, even in advancing in my career. So, being bold is a mindset that we need to have. Taking ownership of actions and decisions, making leadership decisions, using vision to inspire yourself and others, developing self-knowledge of what type of leader you are. That way, when you're faced with a decision, you acknowledge the advantages you have with your leadership skill set and the gaps that you have with your leadership skill set. Again, I'll be transparent. One of the things that I'm not good at is making quick decisions. I'm that guy who you say, hey, what would it take for us to do ABC? And I think about it. I'm like, well, to do A, you need to do this. Then you need to do B. Then you need to do this. In the meantime, people are knocking and saying, make a decision, make a decision. I'm like, wait. I have to think about C. And if C fails, how does B then get impacted? And how does A get impacted? I'm sure some of you out there are the same. You're like, you want to be sure and have certainty when making that decision. But the reality is, some decisions need to be made quickly. So the lead mindset is not just saying, I'm a leader, it's acknowledging what you're good at and recognizing where you can improve. And if you're not that type of leader who makes quick decisions, especially in this environment, then you have to practice what it's going to take to make those quick decisions. And then the last one is execute. At the end of the day, no matter how much you say, I wish, I want, execution means I will do it. I have to do it. I'm going to take that step. I'm going to measure myself. Exactly, bias to action. And I think a lot of us, I don't want to generalize, but there's a lot of truth in generalization. A lot of us, especially Kenyans, we grew up very, I want to say very passively. We're very, we take our time, we try and figure things out, we want to be perfect, but this landscape doesn't allow for that. But you have to then create a mindset in yourself so that when that decision needs to be made, you have done all the madhafu behind so that you can immediately run to execute. So